Hi, welcome to the Trees YouTube channel. My name is Veda Spidle, and I'm excited to share with you that today I am live streaming officially from the One Breath Connected studio. One Breath Connected is an online global yoga community, and if you are curious about it, you can always message me or check out onebreathconnected.com. For today's class for gentle yoga and sound healing, I recommend that you have 2 blocks, a few blankets, your yoga mat, and anything else that you need for comfort, especially for during Shavasana, during the rest at the end. That's when I'll be playing the bowls. So if you want to have your eye pillow, your favorite blanket, anything else that suits you for today. For today's class, we will be doing some standing poses, so please keep that in mind so that when you are standing upright, that you're in a safe, you have safe footing, that your mat feels good below your feet, and if you feel that you need support for balance, that you're somewhere near a wall. If you wish to donate, you can donate to paypal.me/thekaruna-tree. So let's get started. Find a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit with your legs out in front of you, whatever feels best for you at this moment. Just do to sit with an elongated spine and then close your eyes. Take a sigh. And we take the first few minutes of class to settle, to switch gears. This is especially important for any of you who might be working through anxiety. We give ourselves time. Become aware of the room, the space that you're in. If there are any current distractions or any that arise during your practice, do your best to allow those distractions to dissolve into the background. Settle into your body, feeling the sitting bones deeply rooted. The top of the head aligns over the pelvic floor. Lengthen the spine and extend through the crown of the head. Soften the skin. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself here for showing up for your practice, for your self-care. And energetically acknowledge your fellow yogis. If it's comfortable for you, placing one hand at the lower abdomen below the navel, one hand on heart center. And bring your attention to your breath. Feel the inhale, gently expand the belly. It builds up into the ribs and heart center. And as you exhale, relax the chest, the ribs, and the navel draws in. The inhale, belly expands, and the breath builds all the way up to the chest. And exhale from the top down. Breathe without strain. If the breath isn't reaching the ribs or the chest today, that's okay. For those of you that have been practicing full deep breathing for quite some time, see if you can feel the breath expand into the sides of the torso and the back as well. So the breath becomes circumferential. I invite you now to join me in 3 rounds of Om. You can use your voice, you can hum, or you can just listen. Let's first inhale together. Let it go. And inhale. The eyes can remain closed, releasing the hands to the thighs or knees, palms down. Hinge forward for torso circles and begin counterclockwise using the top of the head to draw circles around the hips. Keeping both sitting bones anchored down, reverse direction. Return to neutral spine. If you're sitting cross-legged, change the cross of the legs. Elongate the spine. Take a breath here. And this time, as you inhale, feel the spine lengthen even more. Exhale, let the right ear drop to the right shoulder. I'm mirroring you. Keep the shoulders broad and relaxed. If you want a little bit more of a stretch without force, take your right hand and place it on the outer edge of the head, just above the left ear. Another breath. And slowly release the hand. Inhale the head up to neutral. Exhale here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Breathe. You can take your left hand, placing it on the outer edge of the head, just above the right ear. Another breath. And slowly release the hand. Inhale the head up to neutral. Let the breath go. Hinge forward again for torso circles, counterclockwise. Top of the head, drawing circles around the hips. And reverse direction. Sit up tall and then bring the soles of the feet together, bound angle. Let the heels come in as close towards the body as available to you. If needed, you can put blocks underneath the outer edges of the legs. Hands can rest on the knees, the shins, or you can hold just above the ankles. If it's in your practice, you can take your peace fingers, bring them together and wrap them around the big toes, hooking the thumbs around the peace fingers. In either scenario, you're retracting the shoulder blades, letting the heart shine forward. Keeping the chin right now parallel to the floor. Drop your gaze to the tip of the nose and check in with the quality of your breath. Another breath here. Now keeping the legs in this shape, but let the legs relax. Arms by your sides, let them be heavy. Shoulder rolls. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale them back and down. A few more. Reverse direction, bringing the shoulder blades up the back, forward and down. More. And then reverse direction once to reset the shoulders. Inhale up, back and down. Now use your hands to draw the knees together as if closing a book. Separate the feet so the feet are wider than the hips. Lean back on the hands, elevate the heart. One-legged windshield wipers. Inhale here. Exhale, let the right knee drop in. It's not about touching the floor, it's about feeling a gentle release in the hips. Inhale, the knee comes up. Exhale, other knee drops in. And do this a few more times, moving slowly, breathing with the movement. Your hands can be up on the fingertips, you can be bent at the knuckles or palms to the floor. Depending on how high up you're sitting, you can also have your hands up on blocks behind you. One more with each leg. And when that feels even and complete to you, heel toe the feet in towards each other and then transition to table. Now, if you need the extra support or cushion for underneath the knees, open up one of your blankets across the center of your mat. If the blocks are not already there, make sure that you have them placed at the front two corners of your mat on the floor. For table, we want our shoulders stacked over the wrists, fingers are wide, and you might find it more comfortable for your shoulders to have the pointer fingers pointing forward. Knees are stacked underneath the hips. Right now, the tops of the feet to the floor. Toenails, the big toenails resting on the ground. Moving from the tailbone, inhale, tailbone scoops up, belly drops, heart gaze lifts. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, tailbone scoops up, belly drops, heart gaze lifts. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, chin to chest. 2 more. And slowly return to neutral spine. Tuck the toes under. Inhale here. Exhale, round the spine into cat and press your hips to heels. Stay here, continue to breathe. The toes are tucked under. We want to feel a stretch in the feet. And then you're pressing the mat away from you. If you want a little bit more for the hands, come up on the fingertips. Another breath. And then slowly the hands press into the floor. Bring yourself up to table. Untuck the toes. Let the breath go. And then bring the legs in towards each other for your hip release. Widen the hands. Let the spine be relatively parallel to the floor. Relax the heart down. Neck is holding the head. Inhale here. Exhale, hips drop towards the right. Keep the knees in contact with the floor. Inhale the hips through center. Exhale to the other side. Continue this movement, rocking the hips side to side. Hands and knees remain touching the floor. Once more to each side. And then bring yourself back to neutral. Child's pose. Big toes touch, knees go wide. Sit back on the heels. If you have the blanket, you might choose to drape the top of the ankle over the blanket and the toenail still resting on the ground. This helps to support the ankle. If you need more space for your knees, you can place a blanket or pillow between your hips and heels and let the forehead come down to the floor. If the forehead's not reaching the floor, you can stack fists or use a block. Make sure the head has support. Breathe deeply here. This is one of the shapes that you can come back to at any time throughout the practice. If you need to slow down, if you need to pause and just breathe. So know that that is available for you. Another breath. And when you feel ready, hands press into the floor. Bring yourself up to table. Let the breath go. Tuck the toes under, leg pushbacks. Extend the right leg behind you. Inhale here. Exhale, push the mat away from you. Stretch into the extended leg. And notice if you keep the hips leveled, you'll feel the stretch in the leg. 2 more. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, push the mat away. 1 more. Now we take a side plank variation. Shoulders return over the wrist. Pivoting your left leg on the knee, allow the left foot to go out to the side as you drop the right foot in and down. So the outer edge of the right foot is parallel to the short end of the mat. Left hip is stacked over the left knee. Right hand can go to the hip or the right arm to the sky and the gaze follows. If you want to go a little further, you can lift the right leg off the ground. Another breath. Slowly release the right leg, release the right arm, return to table. And now we switch sides. Left leg extends behind you, level hips, relax the heart down. Inhale here. Exhale, push the mat away. 2 more. Shoulders return over the wrist. Side plank variation. Pivot on the right knee. The right foot pivots out to the side. Left foot drops in and down. Slowly open up. Extend up through the fingertips, out through the crown of the head. You want to feel yourself actively pressing down through the outer edge of the rear foot, lengthening through the spine. Maybe lift the left leg off the ground, extending out through the sole of the foot. Another breath. And then release the foot, the hand, return to table. Let the breath go. And now you can either do cat-cows or take a child's pose. If you're taking child's pose, I invite you to lift the palms beyond the fingertips. Elbows are lifted, forehead to the floor or to a block. Few breaths here, breathing deeply, keeping the muscles of the face relaxed. Another breath. And the hands press into the floor. Bring yourself up to table. Let the breath go. Then grab your blocks if you're using them. We build lunge. Step the right leg through between the hands. Make sure the hands and front foot are in line. Hips are squared forward. Back toes tuck under. You can stay here or lift the back knee off the floor. Press down through the front foot. Extend through the rear heel. Lengthen the spine. And extend out through the crown of the head. Pause here. Feel the body in this shape. If you wish to make this dynamic, bring in some movement. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten the front leg, maybe fold. Inhale, front knee bends, heart reaches forward. Exhale, straighten and fold. A few more. And the front knee bends. Look at your back heel. We build warrior one. You want to drag the back foot forward until the heel touches down, and you can press down through the outer edge of the rear foot. Check that your front heel to back heel alignment. If you need more support for stability, bump your left foot out to the side a few inches out to the left. Pressing down through both feet. Walk the hands to the top of the front thigh. Continue to press down through the outer edge of the rear foot. As you bring yourself upright, hands come to the hips. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, re-bend the front knee. And release the arms by your sides. Inhale to externally rotate the arms. That means the palms open to face forward. Shoulder blades are firmly on the back. Keep breathing. You can go a bit further here by bending the elbows behind you. In that case, the palms are facing up. And if it's available for you, lowering the hands behind you into a clasp, interlace the fingers, thumb pads press. Press down through the feet, extend through the crown of the head, lift the heart, and stretch the clasp, your hands towards the rear heel. Wherever you're at, whichever variation, that you're able to breathe comfortably. 2 more breaths. And then full warrior one. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale here. Inhale here, lengthen through the top of the head. Exhale, bring the hands together down through midline. Hinge forward, hands go to the thighs and then to the blocks. Return to lunge. Back heel is off the ground, hips are squared forward. Straighten the front leg. If you have blocks, you can bump the blocks up to the highest setting. Draw the right hip back. Lengthen the spine and see if you can get your spine parallel or so to the floor. Breathe here. If you want more, you can lift the right toes and the ball of the right foot off the ground so that your right heel, the back of the right heel is on the floor. Pulling the right toes towards the right knee, left hip presses forward, lengthen the spine a little bit more. 2 more breaths. And slowly re-bend the front knee, return to lunge. Bring the right hand to the right hip, lengthen the spine. And then inhale, begin to twist to the right. And if the shoulders stack, maybe the right arm goes to the sky, reaching up through the fingertips. Extend out through the rear heel a little bit more, reach up a little bit more, another breath. And with your exhale, slowly release to lunge. Lower the back knee to the floor and return to table. We have a few breaths here. You can do cat-cows. You can do your hip release or child's pose. See if there is a stretch that your body is asking for. Maybe it's stillness. We take this time in these transitions to really tune into ourselves even more. Another breath. And then return to table. Grab your blocks if you use them on the other side. Build lunge now with the left leg. Step the left leg forward, back toes are tucked under. Inhale, float the back knee off the floor, extend through the rear heel, lengthen the spine. Pause in this shape and feel. Feel the sensations in the body. And if you moved on the other side, we move here. Inhale, exhale, straighten the front leg and maybe fold. Front knee bends as you inhale, heart reaches forward. Exhale, straighten and fold. A few more. Beautifully done. The next time the front knee bends, keep it bent, build warrior one, look at your back foot. Eventually this transition, you won't have to keep looking at the foot. So if it's new for you, you want to, I recommend it. If it's not new for you, this transition, you might already have that habit in the body. Pressing through the outer edge of the rear foot as you walk the hands up to the top of the front thigh and then to the hips, gaze forward. Straighten the front leg, re-bend the front knee. Then release the arms by your sides. Keep the back leg strong and steady, as straight as comfortable for you, still pressing through the outer edge of the foot. Inhale, externally rotate the arms, palms facing forward. Exhale here. And you can remain like this, or you can bend the elbows, palms facing up, or take a clasp. If you're taking a clasp, see if you can have the other pointer finger lead the way. So we typically tend to take clasps with a certain pointer finger leading, and now we want to switch that. A little extra brain work. Straighten the arms as you reach the hands towards the rear heel. Lift the heart, extend through the crown of the head. A gentle back bend. Keep breathing. Another breath. Inhale, full warrior one, reach the arms up. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, the hands come down together through midline to the front thigh and then to the blocks. Return to lunge. Checking that the hips are squared forward, back heel is off the floor. You can bump your blocks up to higher settings, straighten the front leg, reach the top of the head to the horizon. So we want our spine to be relatively parallel to the floor, and see if it helps you to square the hips by actively pressing the right hip forward as you pull the left hip back. We breathe here. If you want more, lift the left toes, the ball of the left foot, and you're on the back of the left heel now. Keeping the integrity of the spine. Keep breathing. Make sure to smile at yourself occasionally. Another breath. And then slowly release, bend the front knee. Bring the left hand to the left hip and twist to the left. Continue to extend through the rear heel. As you twist open, if the shoulders stack, lift the left arm up, reach up through the fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly release to lunge. Back knee touches down, and then we return to table. Again, your choice here in transition, a few breaths. Whatever transition you're taking, see if you can relax the muscles of the face. Keep the breath moving with ease. Another breath. And then hands to the floor. We meet in table. Let the breath go. Grab your blocks if you need them. And now tuck both toes under, all the toes under, and step the right leg through between the hands. Lift the back heel or the back knee off the floor. Now drop the back heel in and down so your front heel to back arch alignment. The outer edge of the rear foot is parallel to the short end of the mat, and bring your right hand to the inside of the front leg. Keep the right knee over its ankle and walk the upper body out at about a 45-degree angle without the legs moving. So for those of you familiar with downward facing dog, it looks kind of like that, and it's with the upper body. And it's really important if you're using your blocks that you're pressing down and that they're not sliding out. If it doesn't feel safe, come down to your fingertips or to your palms. Keep the shoulder blades drawn together. Keep breathing. Check in that the jaw is relaxed. And from here, continue to walk the upper body to the left as you straighten the front leg and spin it in, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Check that your feet are in line with each other, and then toes slightly point in. Inhale, reach the heart to the horizon, lengthen the spine, and exhale to fold. Now from here, you can leave your blocks. Maybe the hands go to the floor if that's available to you, or the hands go to the outer edges of the shins. If you'd like, you can take a clasp at the low back, interlacing the fingers. In that case, come up halfway, lengthen the spine, and then as you fold, the clasp is reaching up to the sky, maybe up overhead as the shoulder blades still make their way towards the pelvis. In either folded scenario, we allow the head, the top of the head, to relax towards the floor if that's available for your body. Wherever you're at, few more breaths. If for any reason you can't be folded with the head below the heart, keep your hands on the blocks and keep the head and heart in line. So that way, you're half lifted, you're still getting the work with the legs and the back. Another breath. And then we all inhale, come up halfway, let the breath go. And now walk to the back of your mat, coming into lunge with the left leg forward. You square the hips, the back toes are tucked under, and then bring the left hand to the left hip and take a twist to the left. Excuse me. And if the shoulders are stacked, left arm reaches up, extend up through the fingertips. Another breath. Slowly release the hand down. Straighten both legs. Remember, you can always bump the blocks up. Press the right hip forward. Have the spine relatively parallel to the floor. Breathe. And then release the back knee to the floor as the front knee bends. Make sure you're resting above the kneecap of the back leg, taking low lunge. You're pulling up on the pelvic floor as you simultaneously let the hips dip down. Lift the heart. If it's available to you, arms go by your sides. Externally rotate the arms, palms are facing forward. Use the shoulder blade tips to lift the heart a little bit more. One more breath. Hands go to the floor of blocks. Glide the hips back, taking half splits. You're on the back of the left heel. Lengthen the spine. Stay here or maybe fold. Try to keep the hips squared. One more breath. Beautifully done. Walk the hands forward, front knee bends, and then come into table. Transition is up to you. You have a few breaths. One more breath. We meet in table. Grab your blocks if you're using them. Tuck the toes under. Step the left leg through between the hands. We build lunge first. Inhale, float the back knee off the floor. Extend through the rear heel. Now bring the left hand to the inside of the left leg. Oh, nope, just kidding. Drop the back heel in and down, and then bring your left hand to the inside of the front leg. Check that your front heel to back arch alignment, same as we did on the other side. Front knee stays over its ankle. In the case, the front right now is the left leg. Walk the upper body out at an angle. Keep the arms about shoulder width apart. Continue to press through the soles of both feet. Lengthen the spine. Breathe here. Another breath. And simultaneously, as you walk the upper body to the right, left leg straightens and spins in. Check again that your feet are in line with each other and slightly turn the toes in. Inhale, half lift. You can stay here or exhale to fold. If you wish to take a twist with me, you'll inhale, half lift again. Exhale here. Take the left hand, place it underneath the throat, and right hand to the right hip. Press down through the outer edge of the left foot as you twist to the right, and maybe the right arm to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly release, and we switch. Right hand goes in line with the throat. Press through the outer edge of the right foot as the left hand comes to the hip and you twist to the left. Maybe the left arm goes to the sky. Do your best to keep the shoulder blade on the back. We're not leading with the hand. We're leading from the core. Inhale here. Exhale, release. Now we all inhale, half lift. Exhale here. And we walk now our upper body to the right, spinning the legs, return to lunge, facing the original front of your mat. Check that your hips are squared forward. Bring your right hand to the right hip. Inhale, twist to the right. Maybe the arm reaches up. Exhale here. I think I had the breath wrong on that, but that's okay. Keep breathing. Inhale here. Exhale, release the hand to the floor to your blocks. Straighten the front leg. Press the left hip forward as you pull back on the right hip, doing your best to square the hips. Lengthen the spine. Maybe press or lift the right toes off the floor, the ball of the right foot off the floor on the back of the right heel. Keep pulling back on the right hip. Reach the heart forward a little bit more. Another breath. And then slowly, as you bend the front knee, placing the right foot down, you'll lower the back knee to the floor above the kneecap. That's really important here. Muscles of the legs are engaged. The pelvic floor, you're pulling up on the pelvic floor as you let the hips lower down evenly. Really extend up through the top of the head. Feel the heart lift a little more. Arms can release by your sides, palms facing forward. Keep breathing. And then hands to the floor, to the blocks. Glide the hips back, taking half splits, same as you did on the other side. Breathe into it. Feel the sensations in the body. A breath. And then walk your hands forward, rebend the front knee, return to table. Few breaths in transition. You might find in these transitions that sometimes spontaneous movement might show up. And if that's the case, let it happen. See what stretch shows up, see what your body needs. We have more than just the physical body. We're supporting our entire being with this practice. Another breath. And then we all meet in child's pose if you're not already there. And from here, press yourself up to table. If you had blocks on your mat, move them off to the side. If you had support underneath the knees, you can move that off to the side, or you can also roll the support, if it was a blanket or towel, place at the back end of your mat, draping your ankles over that, making sure the big toenail still touches down to the floor. You can still relax. This is especially helpful if you have any discomfort with the knees. Coming down onto the abdomen, creating a pillow with your hands for your forehead. You can also stack the forearms instead. And we create space in our low back by lifting the right leg just about an inch or so off the floor. Extend through the big toe as if I was pulling on the leg. Relax the leg down, do the same on the other side. Lift the left, lengthen, and lower. If your body desires to do so, you can rock the hip side to side, further releasing the low back, and then completely relax. Breathe. If this is enough of a back bend for you, stay here. Otherwise, we build Sphinx Pose. Have the legs come in towards midline, tops of the feet still resting down to the floor. And then bring your upper body up enough so that your elbows can land relatively underneath the shoulders, forearms parallel to each other, fingers wide. Heart is reaching forward. And then look side to side. And come back to center. And then again, return your forehead to center, stacking your forehead on your hands or your forearms. Let go. And once more, engage the legs. Inhale to bring yourself into Sphinx. Now you can stay like this, or you can bring in some movement with the legs. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the right knee, bringing the right heel in towards the right hip. Inhale, release the leg. Exhale, left heel in towards the left hip. Inhale, release. A few more, alternating the legs. Keep the heart lifted. If your breath is opposite for this, that's fine. And when that feels complete for you, relaxing the legs, lower the upper body down enough so the hands can go underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up through table and into child's pose. Check in with the quality of your breath. Another breath. When you're ready, hands press into the floor, bring yourself up to table. And as you exhale, come onto your seat for a wide-legged forward fold. You can sit up on a blanket, especially if you have tight hamstrings or your low back is talking. And then once you open the legs out wide, and if you're sitting up higher, you might want to place some type of support underneath the knees. It might be blocks, it might be rolled blankets, it might be towels. Any of those are fine as long as you feel supported. Use your hands to move the glutes, the muscles of your buttocks, out from underneath you so that you can root down more through the sitting bones. This supports your posture. And then place the hands behind you, up on the fingertips. The palms are elevated, the hands are on the fingertips behind you. Lengthen the spine and then point and flex the feet. A few more. And then toes point up. If this is enough for you, stay here. Otherwise, for your fold, the hands go to the hips, tilt the pelvis forward, and then hands to the floor. You can be up on the fingertips, retract the shoulder blades. We'll be here for about 8 to 10 breaths. Just breathe. See if you can hear the subtle sound of your breath. More breath. The hands press into the floor. Slowly bring yourself upright, let the breath go, and then the hands go underneath the knees, bend the knees until feet can touch down to the floor, again for one-legged windshield wiper, same as we did in the beginning. The exhale, the knee drops in and down. The inhale, the knee comes up. Once more with each leg. And then knees pointing up, heel toe the feet in towards each other, and then return to bound angle. So we set up the same way that we did in the beginning, but this time we will take a fold. Hands can go to the ankles, right above the ankles. You can again hook around the big toes. Retract the shoulder blades, inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, hinge forward, fold. Soles of the feet are pressing together, the knees press away from each other. You might choose to bring your hands to the floor. Breathing deeply. If you're sitting up higher, the folding forward will be constricted at some point. That's really natural. Do your best. Don't force yourself past any safety stops. Another breath. And the hands press into the floor. Bring yourself up to table, let the breath go. And draw the knees together as if closing a book. Heel toe the feet away from each other until you can set yourself up to lay down. Now, make sure you have your blocks within reach, a folded blanket within reach. For now, if possible, don't put any support underneath the head. If you want to lay a blanket out for the length of your practice space for your mat, you can do that as well. Going down in one of two ways. You can use your hands, bring yourself down. You can do that also through the side, or you can come down using a little added core work. Feet are parallel to each other, toes point forward, reach the arms out and up, and then hug the shoulder blades together, lengthen the spine. After you've lengthened the spine, tuck the tailbone and slowly come down one vertebra at a time. As slow as possible. Once you're down, hug the knees into the chest. And rock side to side. Come back to center, draw knee circles. And reverse direction. And draw the knees into the chest. Maybe float the forehead up to meet the knees, curling into a small ball. And then take a full body stretch. Slide the legs long, interlace the fingers, roll the palms open away from you, point and flex the feet. And then slowly bring the arms by your sides, palms up, bend the knees for windshield wipers, feet wider than the hips, and rock the legs together to the same direction, side to side. A few more. If you want to feel more of a twist in your back when you do this, have your feet closer together. And then come back to center, building supported shoulder stand. You have a few options here. If it's enough for you to have the knees bent, feet to the floor, this is where you stay. Or you can extend the legs up, soles of the feet parallel to the ceiling. If you want to elevate the hips, the supported shoulder stand, restorative variation, you'll grab your block or your folded blanket, press down through the feet, lift the hips, place that underneath the hips, and then elevate the legs, lifting the legs up. Do your best to align the ankles over the knees, knees over the hips. Arms by your sides, palms can be up or palms down. And try to keep your head on center, nose pointing up. When the hips are elevated like this, we want to refrain from twisting the head side to side. Keep the head centered. We're going to be here for about a minute. Just breathe. If at any point you find that your breath is hindered, you're pressing yourself too far, you can always come out of the shape. Otherwise, breathe. Hang out with the sensations in the body. Hang out with the breath. Few more breaths. When you're ready, slowly bend the knees. Release the feet to the floor. Take a breath. And then press down through the feet. Float the hips up if you had support underneath the hips. Move that support. Lower the hips down slowly. You might choose windshield wipers, a full body stretch, or knees drawn into the chest. And then release the feet to the floor, arms out wide, letter T, palms up, cactus with the palms up, or arms by your sides, a simple twist. Walk the feet to the right, hips to the right, and then drop the knees to the left, and gaze can go opposite of the knees. Take a few breaths here. And we switch sides, inhale up, exhale to midline, and then walk the feet to the left, hips to the left, knees can drop to the right. And gaze to the left. Bring it back to center. And then from here, take any other movements or stretches that you need and make your way into Shavasana, your comfortable, restful position. Traditionally, Shavasana, legs are out long, arms by your sides, palms up. You might choose from here to put support under the knees or the knees and the legs. You can put on your eye pillow, your blanket. Take a few moments here to get comfortable, and I'll bring in the bowls. Once you're comfortable, let the body relax. Releasing all effort. And release also the effort of the breath. Let the breath move on its own. And enjoy your rest. Bring your awareness back to the breath. And to the body. Keeping the eyes closed. Back gentle movements, wiggling toes and fingers. Rocking the head side to side. Maybe taking a full body stretch with a sigh or yawn. Take your time rolling onto your comfortable side in the fetal position. And deepen the breath here. You can stay here for as long as you need to. If you feel ready, keeping the eyes closed, slowly press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Placing one hand on the lower abdomen, one hand on heart center. With gratitude, we'll close with a single sound of Om. Receive your breath. Om. Bring the hands together and bowing the head to heart in honor of each other, ourselves, and this practice. It was an absolute pleasure to guide you today. Welcome to the One Breath Connected Studio. Namaste.